right, so I'm live right now. Can't believe I'm making 3-4 videos in a day. So on the previous video, I was talking about the Spain guy that I've met, who's under a travel visa in Australia. We were in the same camping trip, and we were discussing about like why are we dysfunctional, and obviously I share what I know from my knowledge and try to make him understand. Now, just to be mindful, he's 41 and I'm 28, and we're trying to engage this conversation. And I have 3 occasions talk about very deep conversation where people start to think about it and saying that, oh, where are the society are we heading? And I like to think that I did social work degree. I'm not saying I would even not dropped out. I like to thank, the sociology, place-time experience, and, the feminist studies and gender studies and everything combined that made me wanting to decode things like that. Now, I know the radical feminists, the next move right now is to try to ban pornography. I know many fellas like, no, I need my porn. Okay. So, on the previous video, he the Spaniard has been telling me like 50% of his friends is not married. And the way how people in Spain at the moment are not contributing of the society, because cost of living is going up, houses is going up, you can't afford to buy a house, or things like that. People tend to go to minimalization in their life. And whether not having a car, not having a house, they do whatever they want. But what he's actually frustrated is that he's 41 and he's not married. And what I said to him is that I wouldn't blame him for being single or making wrong choices in life. So I gave him a bit of place-time experience, right? And this is, before when enlightenment has introduced of the society heavily. I'm just saying, all the countries jump on board on taking enlightenment science studies and things like that, or profession. Sorry, I gotta write down. I've been talking too long. Is that schools wasn't like what it is today. Even there was school in the days, but it was designed to survive or order to live in society. And you didn't have like high school or like primary school, high school up to where we are right now. It was usually just you have like primary school, you have the strong knowledge, and there you go, because it was usually a manufacturing or agriculture society. Or even if we talk about hunter-gatherer society, I'm pretty sure elders will sit in each other. But let's look carefully about hunter-gatherer society, right? School wasn't designed. People weren't chucked into childcare or institution, school, primary, high school, or university. Even they were, they must have been very, very educated, or perhaps wealthy, privileged, or if they are very, it has to be 3% of the population. Oh, I want a text message. Oh, I did not know. Okay, so so you have that. Okay, so before you were surrounded by your family, right? Your traditional nuclear family, your extended family. Those are one of the most powerful family structures, no doubt, right? So there's intergenerational, right? You've got grandpa, your parents, and yourself, auntie, uncle, and etc., etc., etc. You build your knowledge based on your socialization. Now I'm using words. Oh my God, sociology word. So you base on that, right? And the knowledge, the tips and pointers that you get from the elders and pass it on to you, the next generation, and not to fuck up. That's the rule, right? Or how to marry, or how to survive, how to sustain, how to be a man, how to hunt, or how to gather, or how to do this. This was designed. Now, things has changed nowadays. Things has changed that you've been chucked to a school institution with the same age peers, right? Or maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years age, right? But usually communicate with your age bracket, right? Because you chuck into year one, year two, year three, year four, year five, or all the way to year 12. You most likely tend to speak with or on your peer level. Now, obviously, the peer level, obviously, the education right now is just teaching you science, history, geography, English, maths, sports, and it wasn't really, really, truly all of them was designed to how to survive or things like that. Maths, okay, I'll put maths on there, right? But I'm saying you know, like daily use maths, like maybe taxes, super. Many people has gone pretty messed up when they got on a credit card or doing personal loans. They don't quite understand how it actually works on the percentage, on how they charge or things like that. They think that they pay their monthly or weekly repayment is the way to pay off the debt. But turns out they're only paying off interest. I'm not getting into details on that, but what I'm trying to say is that you've been learned and programmed to a certain way or try to be intellectual that is not actually fitted in today's world, even to in the workplace, right? Intellectual, especially university, right? So you have that, and obviously losing your virginity was a thing in the Western world. Like, I'm not virgin anymore. So you tend to use that to say that I'm entering the adulthood or womanhood or manhood. Oh, I lost my virginity, high five. Oh man, I did this girl, high five. Oh, your mates will say, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Or you've been counted, you've been counted like, oh my God, I'll shout you beer or something like that. It's like achievement. But when you look at the traditional nuclear family, this and that, you do not fuck up, right? There's a reason why sex before marriage. There's a reason why there's arranged marriage. And of course, back in the days, they weren't having that much, technology or perhaps great medication. So therefore, there's not much enjoyment or leisure. It was perfectly designed to love the person or stay in a relationship till you die. Because life expectancy is very low, and disease and cancers we cannot, it wasn't to the standard that you can cure. And now, and I told him, and I was like, you know what, we are so dysfunctional. We even go to a pornography website, you see some, I know it's normalized title, but if you think carefully about it, it's pretty messed up. Like father doing with the step daughter, or daddy behaving badly, like these sort of provocative titles. How much does it damage a lot of people's mind just to think that way? That is normalized. And I told him about China. China, you cannot access any pornography website. It's already banned. Because China, what they're trying to do is trying to create as much functionalist society instead of dysfunctional society. Emil's Durkheim. I'm talking about sociology now. So you have that. I've talked about a bit of place and time. And now we enter this era, right, where before place time experience, for order to a person to meet a mate or potential partner is whether within a tribe or within a local, right? But now things, you got it, Tinder, online dating, or on your phone or on your laptop. You pretty much can date anyone, or you can. I'm not saying you can date. Like, you have a wider variety of options than before. Before it was tribe cannot intermarry to another tribe unless if there's a loss of war, a loss of something, a loss of shame, then they would transfer woman through. Uh, Now we have lost state power, religion power in most of the Western country, where now, sex before marriage, that's not a thing. All right, now you have multiple partners, that's all right. You don't get stoned to death. Back in the days, you get stoned to death. When women's, you get shamed of, having a child without a wedlock. All right, and it has to be intact families. Now it's like, if you get divorced one, you're a single mother, it's all right. There's government welfare. There's always like, something behind. So we lost the meaning of everything. Now people start dating or engage in sexual interactions in a very hypersexual way. Before, dating or marry or arranged marriage, it was based on hypergamy. You date the best of the best to prolong your surviving rate. Nowadays, anyone can survive on a basic food chain. So everyone can have, can live happy, live peacefully. We have human rights, this and that. Now people are trying to be materialistic or try to date someone that is alpha, right? So because we lost the sense of it, because in a society there's like 50% women, 50% men. In Australia, there's a lot more women than men. That this is something I asked a Spain guy. I'm like saying that, look at Australia. Give you an example. There's more women than men, right? But however, you don't see much kids running around, unless if you live in a country region or things like that. But I'm talking about urban cities. There's no kids, and it works the same thing in China as well. But what I'm saying is that kids are invisible. You don't see kids that much, and when you see that, is it functional? Because it just seems like it's very anti. It's not, when you go to the city, it's very not as very friendly family, where restaurants are more provided more for singles or couples, not very family focused if you go to most of the urban. And it's gone to the stage that, and that's why I try to give him a deliver message to him, saying that the more educated we are, we tend to not to less likely to get married or less likely to have kids or this and that. And those who doesn't have a houses or minimized lifestyle, they don't know what's the purpose of living, because we human beings, there's a reason why we have a penis. There's a reason why a woman has ovary, eggs, and vaginal, right? There's a reason why they have lactis coming out of their breasts when they have children. It was designed that way. We are designed to be reproductive. There's a reason why we have sperm. There's a reason behind. And it's the same thing with animals as well, right? And what I'm trying to say here is that it has gone to the stage that now many people are so dysfunctional. Now many people are not achieving the norm or the functionalist or the family unit. The family unit has destroyed already. All right. Feminist does not like the whole idea of women getting starting family, delay the childbearing, chase their dream, compete with men all the way through. I'm not against it. Right? I'm just saying that's the current trend. So you have that. And now it's making men and women entering the capitalist being a workaholic, where, you know, where having a children and having things, you seem like a great good role model of the society. You're contributing of the society. Nowadays, being a single woman or being a single man, you do not get shamed or saying there's something wrong with you. Back in the days, you'll be labeled as there's something wrong with you. Okay, so you have that. So he began to understand what I'm saying. Like even I'm trying to talk about it in 15 minutes, but you can't imagine what he's going through. And I said to him, "You're 41 now. I'm pretty sure you want to find out what's the purpose in life." And that is the one of the reason why you come to this camping trip or holiday visa, finding out what is purpose of life. And and he said, "That's right, you know." And I told him, "That's why many people start to volunteer. It's a volunteer. It's a meaning of life. Is it helping homeless people? Is it meaning of life? Is it, there's a growing trend at the moment. People are moving into van life or choose to be homeless because they know they cannot keep up with this materialistic consumerism society, right? The capitalist society, or perhaps just the entrepreneurial lifestyle, off the grid lifestyle, go back to hunt and gather society. And there's a large number of mental health going on nowadays. We have made religion in the Western world have no power in the country and the government. Very small power. Before, there was plenty of power. Having abortion or it was a terrible thing. But nowadays, young as girls get on birth controls or read woman magazines or things like that. And what birth controls, and you can Google this up, all right? At an early age, it grows their hormones, right? And they grow their hormones, and it's a way to a form of way of shortcut and growing their breast, enlarge their breasts, because the hormones going through their parts of their body. So in the Western world, you see women tend to be a lot more beautiful than over men. Men is a lot more better feminine, where girls they can be very feminine or masculine, depending how way it goes. Now, I even told the Spaniard guy is that in Chinese culture, those who are very, very, very cautious about the next generation is that they have to go through 5 or 6 things for their children to marry to another. I'm just saying, as a man, their son to marry to daughter-in-law, right? Is the fact that there's palm reading, all right, palm reading, face reading, zodiac animal reading is a compatible. Your education, your wealth, of course, I'll give you two more, and as well your three-generation education, social, economic, and last one, has it exceed more than 2 abortions? So that's how deep it goes. Now, under Hitler under Germany power, he encouraged men to marry this woman to be 3 Ks. Now, Kinder kochen Czechie, so Kinder, children, kochen is homemaker. Homemaker is for like home chores, cooking, cleaning, and things like that. And Turkey is more of religion, right? Now we've lost everything because now we've got feminists and now we've got technology. Now we have everything. We have lost most of those culture. Now we've gone to the stage where abortion is for fun. And I'm including, the pill, vacuum, clamps killing the baby and pulling bits by bits of the body parts out of the system. And no woman is designed to kill the baby. It wasn't designed for that, And of course, the feminist enables the whole thing. I'm not saying I'm being patriarchal, sexist about it, but I truly believe woman is not designed to get abortion. Now, obviously, men doesn't have the responsibility. We have a history of chucking a runner from parenthood. So you have that. So it's very deep conversation, and I gave it to him, and I said to him, I wouldn't blame you for being dysfunctional. It's your socialization, it's your environment. Our parents wasn't. Our parents has been, even he's from Spain. There's strong family bonding, but the parents wasn't a really great role model. Even if they are a great role model, but it didn't click in our mind because we are too busy with our peers. When you're too busy with your peers, you adapted to this new culture. And now, when it comes to sociology, when it comes to family, traditional, nuclear family, and nuclear is the one of the most popular. Lone family is the most popular. Same sex. These are the big group of the family that you have now. Extended, nuclear, traditional, same sex. Now it's classified as a family. And this has gone to the stage to the point that now he's thinking himself, wow, no wonder why I want to find deeper meaning in life, travel around the world. Many of us will do the same thing. There's a lot more mental health and suicide than before. There's an unhappiness going through, even though we have technology. There's so much, you try to be generalizing or, you're writing certain words that you might offend someone. Nobody's communicating. Everyone's got technology based. If you say one word and, the other person may see it as a different point of view, you kill friendship away. So when I saw him, he got a brick phone because he believes that social media and technology is ruining this human civilization. And he's right. We are gone to the stage that what he said is that uh, if China is on the rise and authoritarian um, style will introduce most of the world, and he doesn't like that. He likes to have peace, democracy, democratic society with human rights. But what I have told him is that throughout human civilization, there's always been war from tribe to tribe, castle to castle, kings and emperors to emperors, religion to religion, ethnic to ethnic, and it's always a wave, right? And now we currently living in a society, currently 21st century, that you have UN and human rights. And he said to me, but what about Middle East? What about this part of country? And I said to him, well, if it wasn't for UN or human rights, it would be a lot worse than what it is, what we see. Yes, they are right. He's right. There's no peace in the Middle East at the moment. But what I'm trying to tell him is a lot better than before. So now people tend to live a lot more happier. There's so much peaceful. And there's nothing going on. And I'm only saying the countries she has a very safety country and things like that. Countries like, countries is very dangerous. It's very, very, it's not dysfunctional. It's very functional. But just don't know when they will survive or when they have the next meal. Like, Brazil or Colombia, Venezuela, South Africa, or other parts of countries. I'm not going to name all of them. You guys may know what I'm trying to say. So you have that going through. And now we've gone to a stage where it's even different now. We've gone to stages PC, we've gone to stages gender, we've gone to stage with feminism, even to extreme. I really can't wait when feminism, radical feminism, really nailed down to ban pornography. Because yesterday I was in my class, and I had you know one of my classmates who's in her 50s and saying that, oh, her friends are just joining the online dating, and what guys are typing uh, on messages on the dating app, right? It's very, very sexist, very, very, kind of like raping style. Like, oh, do you want to have sex? You want to this and this, that. Like, it's very upfront, even though it's not Tinder. So we've gone to the stage that people think it's normal now. And thanks to movies as well. Um, so I can't wait when we do really stop that. Change people's mind and respecting people. And there's a reason why this rape culture in campuses, and I'm not saying they're 100% all right. I'm just saying I think it's very, very prerogative to say this, but I think it should be in the dating culture. You should be mindful what you say. And that's why I said to him, I'm like, this society is going so downhill. The more peace we have, the more stable we have, we're just going to keep going downhill. It's just technology, is fast, efficient. It's such a good technology. And I told him, nowadays, if you want to go on a date or try to meet a woman nowadays, you have to be, first you close their number, you master your texting game, your calling game, social media game. And if you pass all that, you get on a date. Where my classmate, what she told me, back in her days, 40, 50 years ago, no, in her generation, people actually meet and, they do whatever they need to. So what the moral of this whole story, what I'm saying is that we have destroyed traditional culture, religion, power. Thanks to globalization and what's that terminology? Homogeneity society where everything is same. It's creating us a dysfunction. And what China's trying to do is banning Google, Facebook, things like that to control and try to make it functionalist and obviously to be sensitized to certain topics, right? And I truly believe government should do that because now we have too much freedom. There's no boundaries anymore. Now boundaries are getting on us now because of the PC culture, the gender and things like that. Now it's getting on us. And we are actually going towards authoritarian. Now most people are afraid to talk about or think about or express about because they'll lose their job or being in a criminal record. And this is how deep it will go. Honestly, that's how deep it would. Normally, it will go that deep. That's how deep. So that's the video. I'm not sure have I left anything out. So he understand what I'm saying, and what he's doing. He likes to cycle around the world or different parts of the country, try to find deeper meaning. Now people are doing cycling or doing charity events or doing volunteer or things like that. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm just saying that these people are trying to find purpose in life, or travel around the world, go to different countries and this and that. So it's now this is where it becomes dysfunctional now because you don't know what to do. Who are you? What are you? We lost family unit, tradition, culture, regardless what religion, it's faded. It's not as strong as before. So I can't believe I make this video in 29 minutes. I honestly thought it would be a lot quicker than that. But you understand what I'm saying. I've got a friend calling me right now. Anyways, I'll hang up right now.